Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the Black Manga Critic here. Um, Monumentous moment is arriving. It's gonna arrive. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be live. It's gonna be hype. All right, lit. All right, as the youngins say, I'm a youngin, but you know what I mean. The youngins, like the 16-year-olds. You know what I mean? Like lit. Okay. Um, this is something that has to happen. That's how I feel about it. All right, like this has to happen. It's got to happen. It's going to happen. I'm speaking it into existence. All of that. All of that. All right. This is something that I feel like a lot of people would like to happen. So I'm gonna work as hard as possible to make sure that it comes to fruition. All right. Like I'm gonna be tweeting. I'm gonna be contacting people, YouTubers, people on Twitter, whatever, Reddit, manga helpers, like all the sites. I'm gonna be spreading the word. I'm gonna be spreading the word because this is really important. This is really important to me. All right. Obviously, I'm doing it for y'all because like I can tell like y'all are out there. Fans of Hunter x Hunter are out there. We like in just droves. All right. When Togashi puts out that content, we in there. Okay, we in there. We're ready. We're ready to talk about it. We're ready to discuss it. We're ready to go in depth. Okay. And this is gonna happen. This is one thing I'm gonna say. This is gonna happen. We're gonna have a discussion stream. All right, this is gonna happen. All right. I'm gonna make sure that people are in that stream. We've reread the chapters. We got everything set. We got everything on pat. We gonna have like the document set up. You know what I mean? We gonna have the document. We're gonna the Reddit document. You know what I mean? That's like a legendary document to me. This is like on some book of the dark continent like stuff, like the adventures of the dark continent, like Don't Freaks like tops type stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's just we gonna have that up. We gonna do it. We gonna do the most. Okay, we gonna do the most. Why? Because we gotta do the most. All right. When it comes to Hunter x Hunter, we gotta do the most. Okay. So this, like again, it's definitely gonna happen. I'm contacting people. I'm sending out invites. I'm asking people in chats and wherever. I'm saying, hey, spread the word. If you know people that are fans, they want to be on a live stream, they want to discuss a chapter, they want to do that in depth, they want to get into certain topics, they really want to talk about the dark continent stuff that we've been getting. All right. Let them know this is something that I'm setting up. Please. Okay. Because I've actually been like a part of the One Piece Reverie, like the YouTuber like Reverie. And it was dope. I didn't get to speak like as much as I would have liked. Just because I think, that's just kind of how it is. It's just kind of how it works, right? Like people want to talk about certain things. And, generally like they want it to be sort of like more like kind of positive sort of vibe and talking about certain things, right? And I think when it comes to One Piece, usually I'm like very critical of it. Even though I love One Piece, like I think there's like so many great things about One Piece. There are things that I'm like super critical about because I'm like, no, that's unacceptable. Like I don't want to see that. Okay. But I think like the One Piece Reverie is one of the best things about the YouTube community, especially like the One Piece YouTube community because it gets people together. We talk about we talk about One Piece. We really just like praise certain parts, right? We bring more attention to it. It's a big thing. I'm not exactly sure when the next one is happening. I have no idea. I feel like maybe the next one will happen at the end of this of the Wano arc. I feel like that would make sense because there'd be so much to talk about. I think that's sort of like the plan. But yeah, I want something. If it doesn't get to that point, right? Because like One Piece is like super, super, super consistent. But I think what I would like to see is maybe just like sort of having or hosting like a discussion that happens every time we get a sort of chunk of chapters from Togashi, right? Like if we get like 10 chapters, then we go on a hiatus. After those 10 chapters have been put out, we have a discussion. We say like, hey, let's talk about it. Let's get all the people together. Let's talk about it. Sort of like not like, it's not like gonna be like a consistent, like as consistent as sort of like the One Piece sort of Reverie or anything like that. But I think that it'll be sort of similar in the sense that like, okay, we have a large chunk of sort of chapters, right? And there's some semblance of a rhythm, right? There's some semblance of like intervals where it's like the hiatus ends, We talk about the chapters. We get together. We have a large like scale discussion. We invite people, YouTubers, people that are in the chat, subscribers, whatever. People that aren't even on YouTube like that. All right, but are on Reddit or on Manga Helpers or on certain websites where this discussion is like massive and really in depth and analytical and all that stuff, all that good stuff. So I'm trying to make this happen. I'm gonna make it happen, man. Let's see. Yo, Amadou, what's up? Wonka Blanca, what's up? Edward SS, what's good? Yeah. I'm gonna invite a whole bunch of people. It's just gonna be banquets. Facts. Yo, for real. We gotta have somebody play a flute. You know what I mean? Somebody's gotta play the flute. Somebody's gotta do some corny raps. All right. It's gonna be lit. All right. It's gonna be really good. Yeah. We could have one stream just focus on the Dark Continent stuff. But I think, just like people love Hunter x Hunter like in its entirety. So, obviously we could just have like a stream just devoted to the Dark Continent itself. And I think this stream is definitely going to be like Dark Continent heavy because there's so much to like dissect and talk about and discuss. But I think also at the same time, I think y'all know, we want to have a discussion about all of it. Like we want to see how big it can be, and we got to get it started. This is the one thing, right? Because like the Reverie, like the One Piece Reverie, that was something that it took work. Like it took a lot of work to get that started, to get like YouTubers connected, right? To be in the same place at the same time. One thing that I really appreciated about that I appreciate about the One Piece Reverie is like the ways in which like we'll all sort of be like contacting one another, and let's say like if the Reverie starts, you'll have certain YouTubers and people in the Reverie stream, right? And then like once a certain amount of time has passed, right, then we'll say, okay, let's like, have like a revolving door sort of thing going on where like certain YouTubers will go out because, they have stuff to do. They got lives, they're people, right? And other YouTubers will come in and start talking about how they feel about it and everything like that. And it's just dope. Even if you like, no matter how long you get to like speak or talk or whatever, it's still always like a good time. You always sort of feel like, you are part of this thing that was bigger than everybody, that's bigger than yourself, it's bigger than the group. And it's just dope. And the live chat is like just buzzing. It's just buzzing. You know what I mean? Generally, I try to ignore the live chat because like there's a lot of like cancerous stuff in there, but there's still a lot of like dope like conversations going on in the live chat. People bringing up certain ideas, donations with great like comments with embedded in those donations. Like it's just a dope time. It's a dope time. So I'm still like looking forward to the next Reverie. Hopefully it does end like, when Wano ends, because then I could like, actually like participate in it and, have something to say and everything like that. Right now, I don't have much to say about like One Piece and all that stuff. That's just me. That's just how I feel about it. But I do want something for Hunter x Hunter that's in the same sort of vein. Why? Because Hunter x Hunter is like it's one of those texts that just does so much. Togashi is doing so much. It's very clear, you know what I mean? And you can tell with certain manga, right? When they start off their manga and they're like, oh, I'm gonna play it a little safe. I gotta make sure that my manga is here to stay, right? And then it continues to be serialized, blah 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 blah. Once they reach a certain level of popularity and they're like, oh, like, okay, and they feel more comfortable with this sort of status within, like, let's say a magazine or whatever, right, or a distributor, publisher, whatever, then they can say, oh, I'm gonna try to write this story. I'm gonna try to do this thing over here. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna make create this content like for y'all to consume and like to read and analyze and all that stuff, right? You've seen it with Togashi clearly. All right, Horikoshi, I think, has also like went like from the beginning, sort of went to a certain place, and just kind of leveled up as a writer. I believe, I think. And probably Oda as well, I think, in some ways, right? I think even Oda, like someone as like, just legendary as Oda, like probably got to a point where he was like, oh, like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to write this like sort of arc, and I'm going to try to create this space and world build in this way and like see what happens. You know what I mean? So I think with all manga, like that's like a thing, Sailor Moon, I think same thing, right? It's like how how sort of far, right? Can we as manga like push like the boundaries and push the thresholds once we get to a certain level of popularity? Once we understand that we have a certain like sense of autonomy, right, where we can just do these things. And you see that with writers. You see that with writers as well, right? People like, you know, in the West, like in the United States, novelists, people who feel like, oh, you know, I'm just going to do this and like see how it goes because like I am comfortable, I am sort of safe in a sense, you know. So I want to, I'm just glad that Togashi's like just started this thing, this whole the Dark Continent, Chimera Ant arc. Those are two arcs that are, I think, and even Greed Island, right? There's just very clearly like I'm gonna do what I want to do, and it's gonna be dope, right? And that's it. Like I'm going in, and he goes in, and you're just like, bruh. You know what I mean? It's just like, whoo, heat. All right. So I think a date, like dates and times haven't been set. One, because I try not to set dates and times beforehand because it limits people. It limits like how many people you can have be a part of a particular, let's say, stream or event or whatever. So I haven't set like a date or time or anything like that. But what I have done is I've contacted certain people. I've just been tweeting. You've seen that. You know, and I'm just trying to make sure that this thing happens, and I want to see when people are available, which people are going to sort of be a part of that stream, because again, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of like who's going to be involved and, you know, who wants to be a part of that and when it's going to happen. It's definitely probably going to be like a weekend, right? It's going to be a weekend. That's a fact, because like people are busy during the weekdays. We got jobs, we got you know, careers, like we got stuff that we do, you know, during the day. So it's definitely going to be a weekend. We're going to figure out a date, okay? And I'm going to talk with everybody. I'm going to figure out when that's going to happen. I can't remember. I actually have a One Piece stream that I'm going to be a part of pretty soon. I think this weekend. This weekend actually. So that's going to be really fun. Really fun. But again, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think like we're gonna do that. Whenever the next Reverie happens, I think that's something that we're also gonna do. I'm gonna have some people just like, you know, I'm gonna ask some people. I'm gonna be like, hey, spread the word, do this, do that. I'm gonna ask some people, you know, and I'm gonna say, hey, like, if, you know, if you could retweet this, please retweet this. If you could, like, you know, publicize this thing, please publicize this thing. So I'm gonna contact some people. I think one thing that like I'm trying to be better about is to say, hey, if I have access, if I have connections, if I have those things, then I need to use those things, right? So it's like I need to ask people that I know from YouTube, from Twitter, in that way to say, hey, could you spread the word? Could you retweet this? Could you, you know, get this to your audience so that they know what's going on and that they know what's going on, and that, you know, this audience knows what's going on and this audience knows what's going on, so that, you know, we can get this happening, so that we can get this popping, so we can, you know, so we could go. All right, that's something I'm trying to be better about, like networking, making connections, using my resources, because I have resources and I can do that. All right. One thing I think that people do too often is they underestimate the resources that they have. They underestimate what they can do with the resources that are available to them, and they either, you know, don't use them, or they don't use them enough. Right. And that's something that I'm trying to just be better about, period. Like within my life, on YouTube, all this stuff. Right. I mean, YouTube is a part of my life. Like that. So I don't think it's separate. But I got to do that. I got to be better about that. So again, I'm gonna contact some people. I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, would you mind retweeting this tweet? Would you mind doing this? Would you mind contacting certain people? You know, if there are people that are like big on Reddit, you know, I'll contact those people and see if they can, like, you know, spread the word and do all that. Because, you know, the hiatus is coming, right? We understand this. Like, we understand, like, you know, Togashi, like, I don't think he's coming out with like 20 chapters or anything like that. You know, if he does, that'd be like amazing, right? And we have so much to talk about, because like the last chapter, y'all seen 389? Sorry, my cat is just hello. Right? And y'all seen 389? Come on. That was ridiculous. All right. Shout out to Camilla. Shout out to the Nen Curses. Man. All right. Shout out to the princes just showcasing those ridiculous abilities. Either their own abilities or the Nen Beast abilities. Man, oh man, oh man. All right. So again, no dates and times have been set, but spread the word. You know, share this video. Essentially, again, I it's going to be anybody that wants to join, right? It doesn't have to be YouTubers. I'm just sending out invites. So if some YouTubers if they want to join, then great, right? I'm not going to send too many out. But I think what you do, right, is that you don't assume that like people are just going to be like, hey, I definitely want to be a part of this thing. Great, like you don't assume that, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you don't assume that. You just sort of say, okay, like I'm gonna send out like as many as I possibly can, right? It's like when you're applying for like a job, you send out as many resumes, like and you apply to as many jobs as possible, and then you get a certain number of like hits back, right? Certain people will contact you for an interview or whatever. So it's just a thing. It's kind of like playing like not the lottery, but like it's kind of like that, right? It's kind of like that, like sort of where you just you spread like you spread that out as you spread yourself out as much as humanly possible, and then whoever comes back to you, right? And then you figure that out. So again, just spread the word, share the video. I usually don't even ask like people to like do that kind of stuff. Like I don't share my live reaction. I don't even do that. I don't ask people to subscribe or anything like that. I'm not doing that. Generally, but for this video I want to, because I think again this is really important to me. I think it's important to a lot of other people, and I want to make sure that we get this as far as possible, right? Spread the video, spread the tweets, okay? Retweet, do all of that, all right? Contact as many people as possible. Contact YouTubers, ask them about if they want to be a part of this. You know what I mean? Do that kind of stuff. If you're doing that work, then like yo, Edward, thank you. Again, this is like me, even right now, like, I just get like, I think I just get a little nervous because I'm like, oh my goodness, like we're like setting this thing up and it's going to be, you know what I mean? Like that happens. So like, it's going to be dope. And I know it's going to be great. And I want it to be great. And Hunter x Hunter deserves this. And one thing I think that I also wanted to sort of say is that like One Piece sort of has the YouTuber reverie, right? Tower of God, which is a dope web comic, has Naya D. Hemmings. Shouts out to my guy. Subscribe to him if you haven't already. He puts out dope content, talks about a plethora of manga titles. And specifically Tower of God. He has a Tower of God discussion every Monday. It's dope. It's very involved. He looks at SIU's blog posts, when they're out. He has a bunch, just like a core group of people. When I have the time, I'm a part of that as well. You know what I mean? More recently because I've caught up. So like, check that out, right? And I want something like I want Hunter x Hunter to have that. I think because it should, right? So we're gonna be doing the work, y'all. We're doing the work, all right? And it's gonna happen. Definitely gonna happen. Okay. I'm just going to keep putting in the work for that. All right. So again, spread the word. If you're a YouTuber and you're interested, contact me either via email, on Twitter, shoot me a tweet, shoot me a DM if you can, right? If you have access, because I don't like keep my DMs open. That's wild to me. I don't understand people that are just like, just keep the DMs open. I'm like, no. That's how you get like trolls and like wild people in your DMs. So shoot me a DM, okay? Or if you can. If not, just shoot me a tweet, right? Respond to the tweets that I'm putting out, or just shoot me a tweet. Shoot me an email if you want. Comment on a video. I'll be able to see the comment pretty quickly. All right. All my notifications and stuff. So do that. If you do that, I'll get back to you pretty quickly because again, this is really important to me. It matters. And yeah, you know what I mean? The discussions, just very quickly to talk about that. The discussions are going to be very just like sort of like, hey, here's, we're going to talk about this particular topic. We're going to bring it up. We're going to have sort of like a panel, if you will, just like people, including the live chat, and we're just going to talk about it. All right. And we're going to talk about just an array of topics. Depending on the amount of time that people have to be, to sort of be a part of the stream, we'll keep it kind of short. We'll say, okay, what do we definitely want to talk about? Do we want to talk about, do we sort of want to like stick to the princes and discuss the princes for the stream? Do we want to stick to, talking about Nen and how Nen works for the stream? Do we want to talk about those, certain things for the stream? We're going to discuss it. We're going to figure that out. All right. So again, it's a process. Like a lot of these things take a lot of planning, a lot of discussion amongst participants, figuring out times and dates, figuring out what we're going to talk about. and then actually getting to that day and having everyone be there on time. You know what I mean? Like it's a process, but it's a process that's always worth it. You know, when I've done discussions in the past where I've had women on like on my channel, discussing like manga and the manga sort of world with me as sort of like a moderator. It's just dope. It's always been a dope time, and I want to get back to that too. But again, this video is particularly about Hunter x Hunter. So contact your peoples, all right? Contact your peoples. You know, I don't want this video to be like 30 minutes or 40 minutes long or anything like that, okay? Contact your peoples, contact your folks, all right? And spread the word, y'all. Spread the word, okay? Because again, you know, this is going to be one of the like just best like discussions for Hunter x Hunter that I think we've probably ever seen. The last one I think that I was a part of that was like, super dope was like the sort of like March Madness kind of bracket that we had on Brago D Ace's channel, where it was just like a Hunter x Hunter stream, and it was dope. I couldn't be a part of that for the whole thing because it was just super late. It got super late, and I had to work like the next day, and I couldn't do it. But it was dope. All right. It was dope. It was like one of the dopest streams I've ever been a part of. All right, except for that whole instance where you know people were like, "Oh, Silva could beat Yopi, Yopi," and I was like, "What?" That was ridiculous. People were like, "Silva could beat Yopi." I was like, "Stop it!" Like y'all are wilding. But it was funny. It was great. I had a great time with it. I couldn't stop laughing because I was like, "What?" But that was sort of like the nature of it, right? It was like it was a fun time. So Brago is definitely going to be a part of it. I've already contacted him just so y'all know. All right. Now, Tagashi, it was wild. It was wild. I was like, what are we doing? Whose mans are these? You know what I mean? But like, that's kind of what I want to like not that, but just like, I want the vibe to be great, you know, and I think it's going to be great. So contact your folks. All right. Let's get this thing started. All right. Let's get as many people as we can to be a part of this. If we get like a sort of revolving door, like sort of things going, then dope. Okay. But I want this to happen. It's gonna happen. I gotta end the stream because you know I got work to do. I got a bunch of things I gotta do today. All right, but this weekend's gonna be dope. I'm gonna have a lot of time. I'm gonna be streaming a lot. I'm gonna be doing a lot of streams. I'm gonna be getting a lot of work done for myself, but I'm also gonna be streaming a lot. Thanksgiving weekend, y'all. It's a good time. All right, so thank y'all for coming through. Shouts out to all of y'all. Y'all are dope. Okay. And again, I'm gonna make sure this is something that that happens. We're gonna make sure it happens. Okay, I'm gonna put in the work. If I say I want something to come into existence, it's gonna happen. If I put in the work, it's gonna happen. So, shouts out to all y'all that came through to the chat. All right, Amadou, Wonka Blanca Flame, Harker Weeaboo, Edward. Who else? Oh, Colbert. All right, Daigo. All right, shouts to Tagashi. All right, shouts to all y'all that came through. Spread the word, y'all. Spread the word. If you see this video, if you're here in the live chat, you already know what it is. If you're not, and you're watching this video, just like you know, outside of the live stream, spread the word. Share the video. Head out to the websites. Head out to Manga Helpers. Head out to Reddit. Head out to Twitter. Head out to other parts of YouTube. All right, do that. And just do that for me if you can. Just a little bit. Every bit helps. Every bit helps. All right, so I'm gonna do that part on my end. And I gotta get out of here. I got stuff to do. All right. I'm the Black Manga Critic. The Hunter x Hunter stream will happen. It's gonna be a dope discussion. Come through. Contact me if you want to be a part of it. All right. I'm gonna make sure this goes on. Right. And I'm out you. All right. I gotta get out of here. All right. I'm the Black Manga Critic, Hunter x Hunter YouTuber. All right. It's probably the first time that I've said like I'm a Hunter x Hunter YouTuber. Like I'm a Hunter x Hunter YouTuber. I love this Hunter x Hunter stuff. So I gotta get out of here. I'm out you.